So Molly began her training back in 1984 in Redwood City, California, at Aikido West with Frank Doran Shihan. And her passion for movement has always been there in dance, yoga, Feldenkrais, Taichi, Continuum, Aikido have all supported her in her training. And she was the senior instructor of the Aikido West Children's program in 1988 and was the instructor at Oracle Aikido Club in Silicon Valley in 1991. And in 1995, Molly was on her way home actually from the Aikido Summer Retreat in Northern California in the Bay Area, and went through a car accident, an automobile rollover, which damaged her spinal column. And I remember it well. And I remember Molly saying that it was her Aikido that actually saved her life. If you can imagine being trapped in a car and there was such compression on her neck, and she had the awareness that if she didn't continue to extend ki through her neck, that she might even die. It would just be crushed as she was waiting for like an hour, I believe it was, until paramedics and everybody came and they were able to get her out of that situation. She just extended ki the whole time to literally save her life. And she was diagnosed as a quadriplegic with no movement. And wait till you see Molly. She has regained so much of her movement. She's just such an inspiration. And the Aikido community was a tremendous support, and she did so much body work. She will talk to us about that to restore so much of her movement. She has continued training on the mat seated and also in her wheelchair, earned her Sandan and her Yondan, and now her Godan, so fifth Dan certificate from Hombu Dojo. She moved out of the Bay Area, is training now at Aikido Ka in Grass Valley. Excuse me, I've got some noise outside for a minute. And she continues to train. She teaches widely in America and Europe. There's a beautiful movie that she and her husband have made through Ability Productions. And in 2017, Molly was invited to be the USA and approved by the USAF to be the representative from the United States for the IAF's, the National Aikido Federation's Aikido Disability Working Group. Molly, Sensei, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm absolutely delighted and honored to be participating in this brilliant gathering of teachers, of women teachers. It's really been spectacular. And the offering right before me, training with the chair, was never even occurred to me. I'm in it. It was pretty spectacular. Yeah.
So Molly and I are just going to talk for a few minutes before she goes into her class. Molly, would you tell us a little bit more maybe about your accident and maybe in those moments how your Aikido helped you and also in your recovery?
Oh, goodness. Well, just that particular Aikido retreat training every day for 7 days, and the energetic body that gets stirred when you're in a community 24 hours a day. So I was loaded with juice, if you will. When the car flipped end over end and I was upside down for almost 2 hours, it was the vitality of my, and when I look behind me and I feel like I have a whole community that is standing with me right now, like this room is filled with the Aiki energy, if you will. And that's what I found that sustained my ability to keep breathing while I was upside down for that whole time. And I felt like everybody was with me, just with me. And as it turned out, in the process of the hospitalizations, everybody in the Aikido community was with me. They showed up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I couldn't do anything on my own, and they took brilliant care, touched me, all the things that hospital staff said they shouldn't be doing. like massage and all those kind of things, I knew that this was incorrect. And from the body, there's such magic that gets transferred in touch. And again, you know, Aikido, we're working with breath. We're working with movement. We're working with internal movement. The stuff that you don't see, I mean, you can see this, right? But what goes on inside the body is hidden a little bit. And that energetic is what I continue to use to stay healthy and vital. Huh?
Yeah, great. Can you talk a little bit more about, I know a lot of people in Aikido do somatic body work, all kinds of body practices, and you did, in the course of doing that, I remember talking with you so many times about how you worked with your brain, your body connection, the neuromuscular, the neurological system. Can you talk about that? Because you did that so consciously inside to start to rehook up your movement.
Well, one of the things that I discovered is that the spinal cord itself has its own information. I mean, when we're conceived, the brain rises out of the sacral body. It's not, the cord isn't developed from the brain. It's the brain is developed from the cord. So I knew that that was the way I'm wired, the way we're all wired. And I would look at pictures of healthy spinal cords. And I would have this in my mind, and then I would draw this up from my body. And this is I'm so familiar with it now, and it is such a part of me that I don't so much feel the separation of brain and cord, because it's not separate. It's a whole continuum of presence. So my mind, you know, like I say, I looked at pictures, I watched videos of babies learning to move, how they start. I used all of that progression to recover. Because, you know, they're saying, this is it. And I'm going, no, I want this, you know. So.
Well, I know that you've also done a lot of equestrian therapy with horses, and also that you walk in water, and
yes.
You walk in an airplane. You can walk with the support of the chair. So to go to from quadriplegic to all of this movement, maybe just share a little bit more about that, and then go into your class.
Okay, I can do that. So the movement of the horse, right, is there's nothing quite like it. It is the way the human body moves. So you get diagonal movement, you get up and down movement, you get back and forth movement, and that is hugely stimulating. So if you look at a child, what do we do with them? We wear them on our hips. They're straddling, or they're straddling on the neck. The straddle position, when the pelvic floor gets picked up and gets stimulated, that is really important to me, for anybody who wants to address their physicality from their feet up to the top of their head. There's just that movement. And plus you have the horse inhaling and exhaling. It's brilliant. And one of the things, since I've been up here, I've been out of the Bay Area, has fantastic therapy groups, but up here they don't. So what I'm having to do here is use a peanut-shaped ball to get that pelvic floor stimulation. The other aspects of movement so in the water, I'm a water baby. Once I found out I could not drown when I was in the water, that was my go-to place. And with this pandemic shutdown, I haven't been in a walking water position now for March, April, 3 months, and I get to start it again on Wednesday. And there's something again for me about being able to, in the standing. So I can stand on land, but the ease of movement is not the same. And in water, I get all my organs hang in the right place. I'm getting a total body massage from the nature of water, and I am water. So it's like when I'm in the water, it's not me in the water, it's like I become water. And that allows all of this kind of movement to be expressed. Because when you sit, unlike yesterday, Sensei, when you showed your pelvic body movement and how fluid that is, well, when you sit, that pelvic body movement has to come from the internal, because a chair traps the pelvis. It just does. And if you're here now, ideally, anybody who's here right now is sitting in a chair, because I am what I refer to as a master sitter. I have 25 years, well, on the 25th of June, it'll be 25 years that this little quadruped body has been my ride. And I'm healthy. My body is really vital, and that's because there are certain things that I do around sitting. So when you're walking, your pelvic body narrows a little bit. The ischials come in a little bit. So when you sit, you really should lift one ischial up, and you're spreading the buns. You're getting your ischial tuberosities lined up correctly with the body. So I'm sitting on my sit bones. And even though I have a back to my chair, I'm not leaning against it. I'm actually sitting upright. So there is upright posture. When you're standing, you've got gravity pulling you out into space. You've got the earth pulling you onto the ground. And suspended between those points is your body. And energetically, the energy comes through the crown, goes through the spinal cord, down through the pelvic floor, where it moves out and goes into the feet. Well, I engage that same idea when I'm sitting. So now I'm feeling energy coming through the crown. It goes down my spine. When it hits my pelvis, because I feel my feet and I feel my legs, the sitting posture, the cord, if you will, goes straight through my pelvic floor down to the earth. And it picks up my legs so I can feel a sense of like I'm on a tripod, if you will. Okay? And I am also experience my body in an hourglass form. So I have my shoulders, I have the scapula. So this is the top of the hourglass, and it comes down the spine, and then it moves out into the pelvis. So I've got this form, and everything is collected, if you will. You see, here's the front of our bodies. We're used to this front, but there's this whole back that needs to be collected. When you're riding a horse, there is a reference to collecting the back side of the horse. So the horse is moving with their back, their butt basically, up underneath and moving it through the forwardness of their movement. Same thing here. In a postural seating, you want to have an awareness of your back as well. Yes? So when I'm moving here, I'm feeling this form. So it's not disconnected. I'm raising my arms. This is disconnected. This is connected. So just feel. So if you here at the center point of your body, feel the connection on the inhale here and on the inhaler through my nose. Feel this. Give yourself a little 4-count inhale with an awareness of your hands at your belly. And a little exhale. So when you inhale, you're not doing this. You're actually relaxing in, breathing, letting the belly expand. So here, I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to simply inhale here, and I'm opening. This, when you're seated, when you're doing Aikido, the field of reference is here. It's here. You get out here, there's no there. You just feel that. If you put your arms 180 degrees out, there's nothing here. Keep bringing them in a little bit until you feel that. Here, if I have somebody connected to me, there's connection. Here, I become theirs. Here, this field belongs to me. And if someone, it's like raising a sword, right? Raising a sword, the strike is coming in, I'm here. Punch is coming here, I'm here. If someone's grabbing the wrist, I'm here. There's this deep, deep connection to center and base. You have to develop this awareness. Again, as my arms are moving in connection, I'm not lifting up, I'm actually rising from my seat bones and coming up. Just feel this. And here. Rising and here. So you have this postural awareness from seated. And again, let's just imagine, if you will, that something's coming straight towards your throat. Now, I can't move off the line, but I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. There's so many different ways. It's just keeping this awareness, keeping this. So something comes, I can move. Now, one of the things that's important is something comes in, it's not about leaning forward to receive. I've just completely lost my structural integrity. And when you've got some 6'4" human being coming at you, the initial response is to go, oh my gosh, right? So I've had to train myself to be still and to allow whatever's coming to get really close to me. Really close. And it's sometimes something as simple as brushing away a fly. You know, a fly is here, you get to go, a hand comes here, it's here. And in this movement with the partner, not only is this my field of reference, but I want my partner to be right here. So I'm bringing my partner to me. You just have to bring them to. Sometimes they end up on my lap. But it's keeping this awareness that everything's right in front of you because you're not able to get off the line, seemingly. So you have to learn to move your partner. It sometimes seems a little counterintuitive because in Aikido, we're taught to move our bodies, not necessarily move our partners. If we move our bodies out of the path of harm, then something can occur. But in this position, it's the partner that's being moved, and it's really subtle. It's really subtle. And this, you want to keep this sense of raising the sword right here, or here, moving. So you can see that I have movement here, right? There is movement. So there's a lot of internal that's going on. So I'm a touchy-feely person, so it's been really interesting for me in this no-contact Aikido to find the way. So you have, now my handedness is not as fluid as typically abled people. So there's a lot of elbow movement that comes, elbow movement. Just get this feel. What happens here? So let's imagine here, someone's grabbed your wrist. What happens if you just cup and turn? They're coming with you. They're coming with you. Here, coming here. If I offer the back of my hand, there's movement this way. Movement this way. Movement this way. If I offer you my palm, well, your uke is totally gathered up. You're totally gathering them up, and this is the sense. So when I am engaging a partner, I'm engaging them way before they ever get here. I feel that energetically, I am moving my energy behind and inviting them in. From behind and invite them in. And it's, as a standing practice, it's not any different to me. To have this sense of connection long before there's touch. And ideally, there's a sense of slowing down the attack just by being present in this moment and collecting my partner. So, as a practice, so if you're sitting in a chair, you feel your feet on the floor, and I feel my feet here. So there's I'm in left handi right now, and now I'm in right. So you want to feel that connection of your feet and your hips. So if you have your feet, this foot, my little shoe wants to pop off this morning. But feel your feet, feel your seat, collect your back, Feel this openness in the crown. Yeah. So, where are you not seeing time at the moment? Where are we in time?
Oh, you've got 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? 5 more minutes, and then there was an opportunity for any kind of chat, any kind of question that comes about. And is this a moment to open it up for questions?
Sure. And if you have questions, please write them in the chat. We'll be asking Molly. Just want to give you a few comments like about feeling your feet and your hips and focusing on that work before the touch. People are really appreciating. People want to know a little bit more about the IAF and addressing disability in Aikido practice.
Well, this task force is really just getting off the ground. Lydia Zeitel is the Sensei in Holland, and she is the lead on this, and she's quite a dynamic human being. And we're really just bringing it up now. In Europe, there is a real invitation for people with disabilities to train. There's definitely a setup to include people in chairs or who have other kinds of disabilities, but particularly in chairs. In the United States, there are very few people that are training in chairs, whether it's Aikido or Karate or any of the other arts. But the idea is to be able to express an invitation to people to come, see what's possible, because we aren't set up in the United States really for the invitation. You want to come here for just a second? So entering here on the mat right now is a 2-year-old grandson, Tyson, and he's barefoot here on the mat. So I'm offering opportunities in the United States for people who are in wheelchairs to come and train. But what I'm finding is that teachers don't know what to do with us. It's all an exploration. I was an exploration for Aikido West, for Shihan, for Doran, and for the whole community. And I was fortunate in the place that I was in where they didn't even give a second thought to what might be possible. They just included me. And of course I included myself. And how to expand the offering. I know that there are people who are typically able to have injuries and which doesn't allow them to train from a standing position. And there's a tendency then to just sit on the side and observe training. But I suggest that there's a tremendous gift in learning how to move when it appears that you're not moving. How do you, and if you're sitting at a bus stop, what is your ability to move your attacker, so to speak, and be safe? it's a vital practice, and I think it should be something that people just do every once in a while, and everybody sits and finds out what is possible, because there is a lot. And it's fun. How do you transform Shimonagi? How do you transform a strike to the throat? What do you do when somebody comes around behind you and you're not able to move? This is a huge exploration that sometimes as we who are aging, and movement, you know, when you're in your 80s or 90s, sometimes it becomes a little more difficult to find that this is a vital practice. You don't have to stop your art. It just looks a little different. But the vital body is still there.
So Molly, there's a question I think some important for all of us. First of all, I just want to say that it's so great to train with you and to uke for you and to feel the down and to feel your energy extension, because you know that's what's really coming through, and you've developed that so much. So if anybody gets a chance to train with Molly, it's just amazing to feel your ki, shall we say, and how that's developed. But there's a question that's sort of, I would put it as a golfer in a way, into what's your mental game? Somebody asked about how have you kept yourself motivated to train, and not only to train, but to have that mental approach, that mental attitude, that mental commitment when it could be tough, right? And to just to embrace, in a sense, to do Aiki with what happened, and to move as you continue to move. Could you share with us sort of about your, I'm going to call it your mental game?
The mental game. Well, sometimes, people would ask me, how come I'm up? I mean, the flip side of being up is fairly unpleasant. I prefer to have joy. And one of the things that Aikido has brought me, and a few tears along the way and things like that, but in general, it's joy. And my father was the president of the Optimist Club, so there was this credo on the wall, and I saw it from the time I was a peanut. And my dad said to me, stay away from negative people, they'll kill you. Well, Aikido community is alive and vital and positive and moving. And yeah, there's flow of movement as we become our vital, delightful selves. But in general, Aikido gives so much love. And so I love. And the love starts with me. Do I ever deal with depression? Teeny tiny. It doesn't really, I don't dwell there. It's not that I don't get sad or anything, but I don't dwell in that place, because I kind of wrap myself around a sadness, and I'm tender with myself, and then I move on. And it's, mindfulness, breath. First thing we do when we're born, the last thing we do when we die is that breath. And so I fall to breath whenever I remember, which is all day long. I'm checking in, where is my breathing? Because in order to keep my mental state healthy, it needs the power of oxygen. All my cells need the power of oxygen. So breathing Whenever I feel a contraction, any kind of contraction, then it's an automatic key for me to check in with my breathing. Any kind of contraction, because this is the expression. This does nothing for me. This. So, mental state. Gardening, go into the garden. Being in the natural world. I do that a lot. And in this pandemic, I was saying to Sensei Michael Friedel that my Joe is my circle hoe. And that's, you know, I'm using that. I have a sense that Sensei and I hang out in the forest together.
Beautiful.
You know, I've had the great fortune of a lot of really good teachers, and you know, I entered Aikido through Lomi school, and you know, that big base has to.
Maybe we could talk about that a little bit more. First of all, everybody's just so appreciating your inspiration and sharing resources about training and IAF disabilities, abilities, different abilities. Just two other questions. One has to do with, does the IAF offer training for other conditions? And the other question is just to share more even about, speaking of Lomi School and the mind-body connection, and how you really have worked to restore more movement and more ability and capabilities.
The mindset that anything is possible. I mean, I can stand, I can ambulate with balance support, and nutrition, of course, plays a role. It's feeding the body. But with Lomi School, it was a 10-day workshop that I did, and I got introduced to, you know, Gestalt and Aikido. This was my entry point for Aikido. Being on the mat for an afternoon at the end of practice, having the sensei do a bokken strike with each one of us 18 people, and came to be my turn. Sword came up, sword was coming down. I didn't duck, I didn't cover, I didn't move. I was like a deer, frozen. And that's where I started. I wanted to know what is that? And over the years, of course, I learned what that was. And but from meditation, the breath, from being aware that I'm a 360-degree person. I top, bottom, sides, back, front. That all of that, I have to claim the whole thing. It's really easy just to claim the front when you're moving. But claiming the whole thing keeps my body vital. It definitely keeps my mind vital. I also have the great fortune in this Aikido community of being with people from all different walks of life who are claiming a pathway of love. How do we move through the world with love? And moving through the world with love, it just generates more from everybody that I come in contact with. You know, it's sitting on a city bus. I'm just sitting there, and all I'm doing is deep breathing and being present. And I feel and I observe the rhythm and of the people in the bus changes. That's my job. I feel like that's my job in the world. It's my job when I'm driving my car to be a focal point of love and relaxation. I don't ride on people's, get up close to them. I'm calm when I'm moving through the world in my vehicle. I feel like I'm a road warrior and I'm planted on that freeway to calm the whole thing down.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. We're just about at time. And I wanted just to underscore, I love that sort of like Aiki is our job. And I sort of mentioned yesterday about Aikido. That's really what we're practicing. And you are a true demonstration of that and inspiration. Everybody is just thanking you. So I hope you'll see the chat. And also that everybody will look in the chat as there people are sharing resources and links and those sorts of things. Yeah, you know, just such a demonstration of the power of presence, breath, center, possibility, mindset, love in a real way, not love, but just that real energy and how truly healing that is.
So I want to say something real quick about the IAF. In Europe, there are people there that train and have cerebral palsy, and but we're working on the expansion of, well, you know, you've got a hip replacement. It's a certain kind of a different ability. Then you have to alter your body's way. So we're working on it. It's a work in progress. That's why it's called a task force.
Okay. Well, thank you. Let's everybody thank Molly Sensei. Domo arigato.